I'm Nintendo.
And I'm Sega.
This is
Console Wars!
Growing up in the early 90s,
late 80s.
there were a lot of cartoon shows. One of those cartoon shows that stood out among the others was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It was a story of 4 ordinary turtles that were covered in a mysterious ooze. Then they were guided by their master Splinter to learn the ways of the ninja and fight crime and eat pizza. There were lots of movies and toys and other things for the parents to spend money on. One of them was video games.
That's right, there were several Turtle games released, 2 awesome arcade games, and several home console games as well. The games we're focusing on tonight are Turtles in Time for Super Nintendo and Hyperstone Heist for Sega Genesis. Let the console wars begin! So the Super Nintendo has the best graphics.
It's no contest. It's a direct port from the arcade game. The fact that it's an arcade port that's truly original should give Nintendo an automatic win. Alright, I won. I can go home, right? Oh, you want more? Okay. So, look how great the characters are. They look just like they did in the cartoon show. And look how detailed the environments are. Each level looks unique from one another. Having each level from a different time period helps make it more memorable. Character animations are smooth too. This is one of the most fluid beat-em-up games out there for the 16-bit generation.
So, Super Nintendo version support. It's easy for a game to look good if it's a port. It's harder for a game to look good if it's original. Which is what Sega is. Original.
The Sega has graphics just as good as the Super Nintendo, if not better. Of course, the characters also look great. It has all those smooth character animations. And it has its own unique levels, which are totally original, unlike your port. The Sega Turtles game should win just because it's not a simple port. People actually put time into this game to make it original.
I'm sorry, I thought I heard you say the Sega was the original one. Calling Hyperstone Heist original is like saying Deep Impact is more original than Armageddon. You must be high if you're saying that.
Okay. Giving Super Nintendo any credit is like giving credit to a poster of the Mona Lisa over someone's original artwork. Like my Mona Rachel. I mean, sure, there's a lot of similarities between the two, but at least it's original, unlike the Super Nintendo, which is ultimately a copy.
Alright, granted. Sega isn't a port, but take a closer look at it.
It came out the same year as Turtles in Time. The characters look the same. Character animations look the same. It even has some of the same levels from Turtles in Time. Same.
Regardless, Turtles in Time isn't original. If it was made solely for Super Nintendo, you might have a point. But I can't accept the fact that you're giving all credit to mighty Nintendo for something that's just a port. It's not original.
Well, maybe Sega didn't make a port because it couldn't handle the awesomeness of the arcade. So what did Sega do? They made a crappier game that isn't as cool as the arcade game. And don't talk to me about original, because Pepsi wouldn't exist without Coke, and Hyperstone Heist would not exist without Turtles in Time. With graphics, it's got to go to the original source, and that's Turtles in Time, and you're only going to find that on the Super Nintendo.
Alright, you may have won graphics because your game came out first, but what about the cutscenes in between the levels? I don't think your cutscenes look quite like mine when it comes to sheer awesomeness.
You're right. My cutscenes don't look like yours. They look exactly like yours. Are you kidding me? Your cutscenes are an exact ripoff of mine. What? No!
That's a fallacy. That's not true at all, man. My cutscenes are a million times better.
Whatever do you mean, good sir?
Look at these beautifully detailed drawings of each turtle. It's like they're drawn by one of the art masters the turtles are named after. And look at your cutscene. I feel like I'm gonna have a seizure if I continue to watch. If the cutscenes in between levels slightly resemble the intro and endings, it'll be like playing a virtual museum of art.
What do you mean cutscenes in between levels? You only got cutscenes in the intro and the ending.
No.
I got a cutscene.
Wow, that looks familiar. Well, at least Nintendo has these little cutscenes showing the turtles going into different time periods via the space vortex. That's the best kind of vortex.
So how do the turtles get place to place in the Sega game? Pony Express? Scooter? Go-kart? They never explain it, and my imagination's running wild.
Well, I know why Super Nintendo has cutscenes.
You better not say port.
No, I was going to say short. As in, your game would be way too short without those crappy cutscenes.
I'll show you a crappy cutscene. Presentation goes to Nintendo.
Well, the Sega version has some pretty sweet music. Hope you're ready to cry at how awesome it is.
You know what? You're right. I'll agree with you. It is awesome. But I feel like I heard it before. Something familiar. Something from the past. Oh yeah, it's a blatant rip-off of the Nintendo version. Good job, Sega. Bragging to me when your Sega game has ripped off the Super Nintendo game.
Sega didn't rip off Super Nintendo. It rips off the arcade. It's a big difference.
Okay, well how can you be ripping on Nintendo then?
Because Nintendo's a port, and Sega's original.
Well, your game has silly sound effects.
When you hit enemies, you get this weird noise. It sounds like a wet fart on a hot summer's day.
Yeah, well, Super Nintendo sounds like a chicken on crack getting hit.
Well, every time the turtles speak in Sega, they sound like they swallowed a gallon of helium.
Well, I can barely understand Turtles in Super Nintendo because they got all that reverb, which should make you feel bad about yourself.
Even during the stage screens?
Even during what?
The stage screens, when the turtles say the name of the stage.
They do that, Super Nintendo?
Yeah, they do.
Big Apple, 3 a.m. Bury my shell at Wounded Knee.
What, is Sega just type the name of the stage with a little stupid typewriter sound effect? What, Sega couldn't handle a little voiceover in their game? Come on. Based on the fact that Sega has the music, but they can't do the voiceovers, that sound goes to me, Nintendo. So, Pretender, what do you got for gameplay?
What do I got? I'll show you what I got. The perfect controller for a Ninja Turtles game. 3 buttons. 1 to attack, 1 to jump, and 1 to dash. When it comes to Ninja Turtles, the Sega controller was made for this.
I got all those buttons too. And who needs a dash button when you can just double tap?
Double tap. So other than the D-pad, all you really need is 2 of those buttons.
Yep.
What are the other buttons for? Telling Splinter the weather?
What? So as you can see, we're going to have a cold front followed by a precipitation within the, you want to see the sewers, partly cloudy winds. If I can just get the departures coming. This thing is, it's not my first day. Huh?
Yeah, man, you got all these stupid buttons and you don't eat them. I mean, it's a simple beat 'em up. Do 3 buttons any day.
Okay, well, I may have mucho buttons, but at least I got gameplay variation.
Yeah? In addition to the regular fight levels you Sega people stole, I also have these awesome surf levels.
Whatever. Got him too.
Yourself. I got it in the future with hoverboards. Just like Back to the Future. Marty McFly before he had Tourette's.
Also, I got what I like to call the I'm a move. What?
Well, I'm glad you asked. It's when the Ninja Turtles throw the foot soldiers at the screen. They get so close to the screen, they're able to say hi to their mothers.
But if they're robots, how do they say hi to their mom?
Yeah, hi ma! Hi ma! Hi ma! Hi ma!
I mean, it looks cool, but it has no practical applications in the game.
Oh yeah? Check out this shredder fight.
How do I hurt him? How do I hurt him? How about saying hi to your mom to me? Ah! Clearly, Nintendo thought about breaking new ground, unlike Sega.
Nintendo broke no ground. It simply copied that broken ground.
Well, the Nintendo has different gameplay options. It has a time trial mode for all the different levels.
Time trial mode? Well, that's just ridiculous. Nobody likes time trial modes. That's about as useless as a make your own pizza mode.
Actually, make your own pizza mode would be pretty cool.
Pizza in our hearts forever. Pizza in our hearts today. Pizza in our hearts with pepperoni and cheese. Pizza in our hearts today.
Anyways, there's a versus mode.
A versus mode? That's it. Time to put you in your place with the best Ninja Turtle. Raphael.
What? Now I know you're gonna lose. Leo's the best.
Leo? That Boy Scout? Anything you say, man, just let me be the leader.
Raph with the worst weapons, and he's got a bad attitude to boot. Plus, he's always getting kidnapped. I thought he was a ninja.
That's because Raph actually likes to go out and fight crime. I mean, if it's up to Leo, they just sit down. It wouldn't be the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It'd be the Teenage Mutant sitting around all day Turtles. Well, look who won.
Well, that's alright, because you just experienced how awesome the Super Nintendo is. Do I gotta say it? Gameplay goes to a Mamma Mia. I'm a number 1.
I understand that the Nintendo is a port. While there were some limitations the Super Nintendo could not handle, you can't deny how much this game is true to the arcade. Let me also restate something. Maybe the reason Sega had to do an original game was because the Genesis could not handle being a port. So they had to make a very similar game that was slightly different. Both games are great, and they play very similar to one another. But at the end of the day, the Nintendo came out first, and that will always cast a shadow over the Genesis game. Best Turtle game goes to Nintendo.
I am Super Nintendo. I am awesome. Super to the max. Turtles in Time is the better game. For which system? Me, the Super Nintendo.
So pizza here.